one of the more interesting things I think about your last long-term relationship, which none of our boys here know, and this one, if there's a line, I'm finna cross it.
I want this interview to break Brandyn.
There's some animosity between Will and Brandyn. I think we all know it's there. Let's talk about it.
Will wanted to use this interview to attack him.
No.
I'm just saying there should be realistic expectations. Superman ain't gonna bleed today.
Yeah,
But he might.
it's not gonna happen.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's Travis Stocksdale, the second main host of the show. I could never claim that top spot, but I'm here tonight to kick it off. This is the roast of Brandyn Payne. It's the Brandyn Payne interview. We have special guest Austin Rupp tonight.
Let's go.
He's joining us again.
It was good.
We brought this man in.
We brought him in to unpack Brandon's past before our time.
This man knows anything and everything about Brandyn, more than we do, and more than Brandyn knows, actually. So we brought him in.
Before we jump in, we have got me, Travis Stocksdale, the host with the most, and we have over here, to whichever direction he's putting himself in, Brandyn Payne, the man of the night. Let's give him a round of applause.
Fucking go.
As usual, I'm also joined by Oliver Wickheiser.
What's good?
Oh, Wiki. And I'm joined by Will the Wise, Will the Conqueror.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, our very special guest. Let's give another hand to Austin, and let's kick this shit off, baby.
All right.
Fucking huge cock right there, cunts. I gotta say, Travis, this is really awesome. And if Will's thought process of me having the biggest ego of all time, it's number one, you guys had a fucking huddle before you started this without me. Two, I'm the only one that had to bring on a guest. So I felt like that my whole life would accurately be covered. So
it's all been leading up to this interview. This is what the audience has all been waiting for.
You try to say that you probably like your life is more extravagant in some way.
You act like you didn't just
for you guys, and
you want to just act like you didn't spring the whole interview thing by starting with me on a random episode.
Actually, the funny thing is your interview is what sparked it all.
I should have brought like Darius.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been a good unpacker.
Yeah,
but anyway,
good.
You live and you learn. Let's get into some questions. I'll break the ice with the first one from our very, very long list here. I'll break, you know what? I'm going to break the ice with one of my own, and we're going to jump into something like that might be a little heavy, something that's not often talked about.
Okay.
I'm asking Brandyn, what did he learn from his last relationship that he thinks he's going to take into his future relationships?
So are we talking about the Lisp girl, or are we talking to the one previously?
No. We're talking about your previous long, multi-year relationship.
Right.
I'm not counting the other one.
So I think I was really, that one doesn't count. I think I'm really proud of the fact that I was very true to myself throughout, and I did whatever the fuck I wanted to do, to be honest. Like there were times where we would get into arguments and she was like, I don't want you going. And I'm like, I'm going to, because this is what I want to do. And I think it's ridiculous that you're trying to forbid me from doing that. On the other side of it, I really regret a lot of things about that relationship. Number one, I just didn't put that much effort into it. Under the preface that I was doing whatever I wanted. I could have done more, and I could have cared more. And I could have put my ego aside about a lot of things that didn't fucking matter. I feel like that's like the whole cautionary tale of my life. So honestly,
that's a really, really, really important relationship thing to learn is pick your motherfucking battles.
Yeah, man.
Would you say that would you say in any other times has your ego come into play in a bad sense
all the time.
During a relationship?
All the time. Even my relationship with my friends. I think my ego has helped me, like, if you don't think that you're the shit, nobody else will think that you're the shit. Straight up. You need to, I've always lived my life with that. However, on the flip side of that, if you take it too far, you're going to piss people off. And there have been times where I've either gone at Oliver or gone at Trav. I've gone at all of you guys, to be honest, just because I thought that I was better. And that's bullshit. That's not how it actually is. This is a give and take. I am nothing without you guys. On the other side of the
But
token,
you're also fantastic. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
You gotta hit yourself in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna go there. But it's a lot of the times my ego puts me in situations where I get in trouble because I think I'm the shit and I don't feel like that I deserve to have to deal with tedious things or deserve to deal with other people's emotions when that's not how life works.
Would you say that comes into play because you listen to Kanye West so much?
No, I've always had a big ego, and I listened to fucking. My favorite band was Fall Out Boy when I was like in middle school.
So what turned you into Kanye then? What turned you into the God complex of Kanye?
To be honest, he's just a genius. Like his musical style, everything. He's genius.
So
I won't go wrong with that. No.
So to throw this in a different direction to a certain degree. So Brandon, how? I know we've all kind of asked each other this question. How would you say, like in your childhood, like growing up, how was that between, like that relationship between, like that dynamic, I should say, between you, your sister, and your two brothers? Like how
you had a
dynamic?
You had a pretty crazy childhood, yeah.
Yeah, how was that dynamic?
All right, so I got to kind of lay this out. My mom was with 3 different guys, and that's how my siblings kind of just happened. So the first guy, she had my sister, who's the oldest. She's like fucking 5 years older than me. I don't really know. And then I was second with my dad. And Morgan also came with my dad. They broke up, aka got divorced, and my stepdad and my mom had Noah. And then, because we're talking about me, it's like on my dad's side, they also had 2 kids, and that's Ethan and Katie. So, I've got a bunch of fucking siblings.
From a bunch of different people. It seems
man.
Like. And I don't mean that in a bad way. No,
I don't give
a fuck.
But
you have a shit ton of siblings across pretty much, like, if we can say it, the spectrum.
Yeah,
like you have a whole range.
Because so Morgan and I always went back and forth between my dad and my mom's house, which is its own fucking battles. I'm sure that it'll get asked about later. But, Morgan and I fucking hated each other growing up because we were always around each other. We'd be stuck in basements, sleeping on the same bed. We had bunk beds, and, one of us would hear each other fucking jerking off and be pissed off, and I would fart and he'd get mad. Noah and I were best fucking friends. My sister...
Noah's just such a chill guy.
Noah's a great person.
He's the best. And my sister and I never really became friends, to be honest. And even now, we kind of have like this like weird relationship. Sometimes it's really awesome. Other times it's not.
Is there a specific event that caused it?
What?
Was there a specific event that caused it, or were you guys just constantly butting heads?
She was a lot older than we were, and I was just a dude trying to play video games. I had no interest of being like, hey, sissy, what's up? And she would always try, and I kind of feel like a dickhead, but I was a little kid. I didn't know any better.
Even today, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know your sister that incredibly well, but I feel like you guys are kind of just different people.
Yeah, I think so too. But I also think that like
There's
we had this other side of us
thinking you're a sociopath.
Yeah, well, she thinks I am a sociopath.
Are you a sociopath?
I don't think so.
I think he has sociopathic tendencies, but he'll tell you that everyone does.
I think people aren't perfect, man. But yeah, so just recently we had like a family group chat call because my mother's funeral is coming up here soon, and we had kind of like had to work out some logistics, who's coming and who's not. And that was great. Like we had a lot of fun. We were joking back and forth, and it was a great time. So it's always, I think it's just been like we haven't really hung out that much, to be honest.
Are you hoping that during the funeral or like the events surrounding the funeral, do you think that you guys can try to rekindle something that you guys have lost pretty much for your entire lives, since you guys are both now, like, I would assume, mature adults?
I have a lot of trouble like forcing conversations because I think it feels disingenuous almost. It's like we're here to have a serious conversation. But I think what I would like is for me to kind of just sit her down and be like, listen, I want to be in your life and I want you to be in my life and I want us to fuck it up together. We kind of have like the same skill set. We kind of just want to do well. We're both ambitious people. We both want to crush it. Like let's hang out more. Let's do more stuff. So that's kind of the hope.
I feel like she'd be down.
Yeah, I don't think she would say no.
Austin, what's something you've been dying to ask?
Yeah, you want to dig into his childhood? You want to start from the very beginning?
Back because you guys are kind of the experts on this. Like I've just kind of been enjoying it so far. I've got like front row seats, but I actually think we could loop it back. We kind of escaped his long-term relationship pretty quickly.
I was going to say that.
Yeah,
and
I knew it was going to come back. I mean,
and I would kind of say that he
talking about this.
He honey-dicked us a little bit. He said,
"Yeah,
well, you know, the reason it ended because my ego." But it wasn't just your ego. No, of course it wasn't. But it was part of it, which is the interesting part. But I actually think one of the more interesting.
That was my regret to kind of like.
That's fair. That is true. One of the more interesting things I think about your last long-term relationship, which none of our boys here know, and this one, if there's a line, I'm finna cross it. So my boy told me that his last long-term relationship bothers him more than his parents' deaths. And I think that's pretty interesting. There's something to be said there about that.
I kind of knew that.
What about it troubles you, or what about it made you make that comment, Brandon?
I don't know. And
yes, you do.
No, I don't. And that's a conversation Austin and I have had as well. I don't know why it does. And Austin has this theory that it's like me throwing like the hardest shit so far deep down into my subconscious that I don't even think about it. But you know,
and it's just a theory. I really have no idea.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't know either. What I think it's kind of been was, you know, I've throughout like my good part of my adolescence, I didn't really have. My mom was always going back and forth because my stepdad was sick. So it's like I relied on other people as family. So I think that might be it, but I have no idea why. And it's not like I've made that conscious decision to be like, hey, you know, the breakup's gonna hurt me more than my parents dying. But it's just kind of how it is. So
have you ever sat down and thought about, like, I don't know if anyone else does it. I've done it before, but you sit down and you have these. You can have you can call it an internal monologue. You can call it like an internal debate. You can call it whatever you will. But after big events, I always catch myself like secluding myself from like friend groups, friends, family, all of that. So that way I can have these conversations with myself. So that way I can, one, try to figure out why I'm feeling the way I do about this subject. And two, try to figure out what I can do to better myself afterwards. Have you had that conversation with yourself yet about this whole ordeal? Or are you trying to throw it on a back burner and try to hope that it kind of goes away through time?
I do it constantly. Whenever I'm alone and I'm not with people, I don't have distractions. That is what I think about. How I could have done this differently. So it's these scenarios have run through my head a million times. And I think I don't know if that's healthy or not. I don't think it is.
It is. No,
I don't
for
think
sure
it is. I think it's not obsessive, but it's more of like if you run through the scenario a million times and get all of the possible outcomes, what is the point of continuing to run through all the outcomes?
You're still broken up.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
That's fair.
That's how life goes. So, do
you think it could be because you have more regrets with your past relationship than you did with your mom? Because you always talk about you got that moment of closure with your mom. And so when she passed away, it was like you could kind of accept that chapter was over. But do you not have closure with your last relationship?
Do you believe in closure?
No, I don't think it's necessary. No, I think to be honest, that relationship was going downhill for a long time. Austin told me about this before too. He was like, dude, you went to go see John Bellion with me and you were talking about the problems you were having with her. I don't think that it was going to, at the end, go anywhere.
No one saw that coming.
Everybody here
Sorry.
knew.
Yeah,
even when
sorry.
I denied it, that everybody fucking knew.
Well,
Also,
exactly.
closure doesn't always mean like we sat down and discussed everything, like me and the person I broke up with. Like
No.
sometimes all the closure you need is the last like bad few months of the relationship. Like think about everything you fought about, everything she said to you. That's like that's going to give you all the information and closure you need, I feel.
Yeah,
I feel
definitely.
like with Brandon though, in his last relationship, the closure I think he's missing is the fact that she aired all her bad laundry. Like he knows every reason she broke up with him, and she made it feel like it was mostly his fault. Even if that wasn't her intention, I think that's
How it's going to feel when somebody's giving
Right,
every reason they broke up with you.
And so
Right.
I don't think the inverse has ever happened. Like he's never gotten to have a sit down conversation and be like, this is why it's not my fault.
So do you, Brandon, feel like do you feel upset that you didn't get that conversation, or do you feel like you want that conversation?
Or is
No.
that why like you're having these I wouldn't say battles, but like you said, you code through it like a million times.
I feel
and
like
it just never ends.
I kind of wish this interview happened 2 months ago because these answers would be completely different. But ever since I've quit nicotine, man, my anxiety has been 0%. Like maybe I'm like chilling at like a 5 to 10% ratio. Before it was like 60%. It was crazy.
I don't want the interview to have been 2 months ago. You addicted to nicotine is not you.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. So like for a long time, I think I just wanted that companionship that she gave me. All of the good times that we
That's
had.
what everyone looks for.
For sure. For sure. I really enjoyed her as a person, and I think that she's great. She's smart. She's going to crush it in life. Doesn't matter what she does. She's going to kill it.
Do you ever think we should have just stayed friends
What do you mean?
instead of having a relationship at all?
No, because I'm happy that things happened the way they did.
I'm just saying, you said you played out every scenario in your head. I was wondering if that was one.
Well, and Austin's point was so on point, but I also feel like maybe to a certain degree, maybe like the narratives that I feel like Austin said, she always aired out why it was necessarily Brandon's fault, and he never got that chance to like kind of rebuttal it. So that could be like something too.
She wasn't perfect in the relationship either.
Right. We know that.
To be fair, she was a little bit younger, but like, dog, I just got fucking. But just like I said, she's great. It was just like, I can't even think of bad reasons in the moment. That's like the number one thing that I remember because it was annoying. But like at this point right now, I'm ready to move on from that and start dating and seeing new girls and let that hurt and that distrust of women and other things like that like be in the past. Because to be honest, that is fucking what it was. Like I didn't
Don't
trust.
become an incel.
No, it's not like all women are bad, but like it was more like I'm fucking hurt. The next person that hurts me, or the next person that I'm with, is gonna hurt me.
Yeah.
And I can't risk that right now.
No, it's a very scary thing to go through. All of us. I don't know if any of us have gone through that, but it's definitely a scary
Especially
thought.
when it's a really, really long relationship. You're like, man.
And it's
I don't want to do it
aim
again.
with the pains, they attract crazy.
Yes.
Facts.
They really do. That's like all that
Yeah,
gravitates towards a pain is just insanity.
So Brandon, you say that you're like ready to like start dating. Are you scared to like, and you feel like you're not going to be necessarily the same person from when you were before dating? Because you're not going to be. You're going to be different. But are you scared to like jump?
I feel like
back into that
every time you
atmosphere?
date someone new, you're different. Slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's facts.
Hopefully better.
Dude, I was fucking before I quit nicotine, man. I was terrified to text people back. I told my stepmom that, and she's like, "That's bullshit." I'm like, "No, I don't think you understand.
Oh,
It's fucking scary. I don't want people to judge me." So the thought of even going on Tinder and messaging a girl, the only reason I could do it half the time because it was on the show, and I thought like just because it's a bit and I'm playing a character, like haha. and like, but it required no follow through on my part. So I was fucking terrified, man. Terrified of talking to a girl, terrified of getting rejected, playing it safe always. I really need to go out there and get my fucking mojo back, bitch.
You need to learn
Man.
to not give a fuck about that.
Yeah,
kind of shit.
mojo, baby.
Yeah.
I wonder what personality trait will come through the
On
hardest
this-
with your next long-term relationship. Because with your first one, bitch, you were not the main character.
No.
And you
She
did
was the
not.
main
I feel like
character,
you did
for sure.
not have an ego in that relationship.
No
like,
ego whatsoever.
You
I was
were
honestly the sweetest man
like,
ever to that girl.
you were your
almost fear,
submissive
like,
self at that
simp.
point, man. I know because I
Yeah.
went through it. You were just the
Uh-huh.
submissive version of yourself.
And then the last one, it was almost an
Inferior.
extreme. Like you had to be the main character.
Yeah.
So now maybe next time there will
Maybe
be
try to find a good mid ground.
a mid ground, maybe, or maybe you'll your ego will take over again. Maybe you can
Maybe
find
don't-
someone who matches it.
Maybe
There
don't
you go.
try to go Kanye West on the world.
I will.
You sound
Also,
a little
you
bitter
can
there,
always
Will.
find a girl. You can always find a girl who loves big
what I
egos.
mean by that is
That's true.
what I mean by that is going back to what Austin said is you got to try to find that good middle ground. Like we have all experienced you being the very sensible and like reasonable person, like very sweet and like kind, caring guy. But we've also witnessed the God complex, like tyrannical, fucking insane man that's Brandyn
Yeah.
when he believes that he is the only human being on earth with these special powers that he has or whatever. And
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
it's not. I'll say this straight up, and I'm happy being honest. It's not a good look for you. It is not a good look. The God complex. When you go scary crazy with it,
All right.
it's not
Is there
good.
a question?
Listen.
This sounds very rehearsed. This sounds rehearsed.
There's a line.
Is there a question here?
There's a line
No,
from
no, not at all.
Kendrick Lamar. The song is called Pride. My favorite line out of that song.
It's a good song.
I can't fake humble because your ass is insecure.
Damn.
I'm gonna do my
Facts.
fuck. Oh, and this is not towards you. This is not towards you. This
No,
is towards
no.
anybody. I'm going to be on my shit because I think it's either fun, funny, or it makes me feel good.
Or that's
No.
who you are.
I'm
Usually, if
going to-
it's fun or funny, it also makes you feel good.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the trifecta.
It's a trifecta.
Exactly.
Or it's like who you are and your personality.
What I do
Like,
need to do though is make
You
sure I'm
said
not
do.
hurting people in the process.
Right.
And
Unless
that
they're
is-
assholes.
No, see, I have to fundamentally disagree with this whole thing.
Mhm.
God tier Brandyn is Brandyn at his best. God
I'm
tier
not
Brandyn.
saying that it's bad.
And that's when the girls, despite them being crazy, that is when the girls start to gravitate.
Like
So I
said-
think he needs to hit the peak to get
That's
down to
true.
the middle ground. Hit the peak, get down to the middle ground.
But I
That's
said
what I
roller
think.
there could
coaster.
be a middle ground.
Hit the
I don't
peak
think
to
that's
get the
only
girl,
answer.
down to the middle ground to keep
He's
the girl.
just got to find a girl at the
Sounds
peak.
like a roller coaster.
There's two solutions here.
Truth.
But that's the thing is what's going to happen when Brandyn finds that female version of Brandyn, the other one that thinks that
I
they're the
think
main
it's
character.
I think it's the inverse. It's like that whole mantra that
I think he's going to find the one who thinks they're the sidekick.
There's a main character that's main attribute will be to bring someone down in a good way. So to make him level minded. So there's that girl at the peak. It's just not the girl that you think she is.
That's fair.
Just don't end up marrying the one who thinks she's the villain.
Definitely not.
That was bitch Michaela, everybody.
yes.
Oops, doxed, but I don't give a fuck. It's just a first name. It's not really.
All right.
No, seriously. I want to know, like, what did you feel inside all that time you weren't telling us that you were still with her? After she had erased the mirror, after she had been like a total just C to us every time she visited the whole freshman year.
Travis had
How
to
you
say it.
felt
Bro, no. This
just
is such
keeping it
an.
from us.
I feel like this is an easy
No, that's a
question.
good
He
question.
just-
No, I'm like, can I please?
just
the
enjoyed
first
getting his-
answer
Did you
that
feel like you were
came
on
to my mind-
nicotine and had extreme anxiety every day?
It's the
No,
mirror question.
I'll tell you what I felt like. Number one, I felt terrible because I was fucking lying to you guys. Number two,
I don't
though,
believe
Travis
I
doesn't get any of that
don't believe
irony
you.
anywhere.
I call bullshit.
I'd be driving home.
We addressed that in your interview.
I'd be driving home from. Did it just get fucking darker? Sorry, I'm a little inebriated. I would be driving home back from her house.
From visiting your mom.
G-Eazy, Me, Myself, and I, and I'm sitting there in the dark with one tear going down my eye.
You saw in the mirror the man who was with Michaela, and outside the mirror was the real you.
Internal shame.
Dude,
but also happy you got your dick wet.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. It was like, I'm on my fuckboy shit, but also fuck me.
Bro, do you know how many times to the boys we made Brandon lay out a positives and negatives for that girl? And the positives would be like, boobies,
pussy,
booty, vagina. And then negatives, it'd be like mental health, social health, health. She hits me. I hate my life. Fuck me.
She literally wants to murder me if I ever look at another girl.
She's a bad person.
She's bad.
No, hold up, though. I think we got to go back because this is real sensitive guy hours. Let's go to some real sensitive shit right now.
Am I doing good so far? Am I answering good?
Yeah, you're great.
So,
you're fine. We'll tell you if you're not.
No complaints, no notes.
Cool. There's some animosity between Will and Brandon. I think we all know it's there. Let's talk about it.
Will wanted to use this interview to attack him.
No. If you want my honest opinion, this whole interview I want this interview to break Brandon, and not in the bad way that everyone thinks. I want Brandon to break in the sense that you guys all saw like everybody else break in their own interviews. You saw people get broken down to like the human level. Like you got to see everything.
It's the classic trope.
No, I know what you mean, Will. I was just memeing you.
Yes. And then vice versa.
I mean,
we're not internet personalities in this interview. We're
he will get there with some of the questions we have coming up. Okay.
Oh,
right, I can throw one out, Oliver. I haven't heard it in many months.
I think while we're sitting here,
I can throw mine.
There needs to be like that realistic expectations.
One person fucking talk.
What are you saying, Austin?
I'm just saying there should be realistic expectations. Superman ain't gonna bleed today.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
All right, I'll throw my question. I'll throw my question out there then. Oh wait, unless you guys are going. Sorry.
Yeah. I feel like for the past couple of weeks, or at least the past few months, Will and I have been doing a lot better. To be honest, there was less bickering. Him and I are less coming at our throats. We had a conversation in Florida that was really progressive, and then I think things kind of went downhill. Especially, there was a time whenever we were at Travis's house. Yeah, I was gonna say where you live, and you were just fucking coming at me, man. I felt like I was being attacked the whole time. I stepped outside and talked to Grable about it. I was like pissed off. Half of it was because I was drunk. The other half is because it was valid shit. And then from there on out, like there were a few incidents here and there. But I felt like a lot of times you do have this anger towards me. Sometimes it's warranted. I'm not a perfect dude. Other times it's like, dude, get over yourself, please. So I want to know your thoughts on that.
No,
he's
for sure.
The interview.
No, for sure. It has gotten a lot better. I've always known that I'm a person that I get high tempered very easily. I can my temper can spike very easily. So I guess the whole reason why it always would come out, especially towards Brandon, was because of I think it would be partly because of like the ego that he would have like on some of these things, like the pedestal that not only he would put himself on, but that some other people would put Brandon on this pedestal too. It wasn't necessarily me trying to.
Fault.
I'm not saying it is.
Okay, I'm just saying.
But it wasn't me trying to kick the pedestal from underneath of him. I was, and sometimes I can admit that I'm wrong on this too, is that I was more or less trying to like bring him down to at least my level, so that way he could at least see it like from like a different perspective. That's all I was trying to do. And in some cases, I went a little too far. I would say too much. I would get too like energetic about something or go too far with it. I can admit that. But
Like
other
any
times,
couple, sometimes Brandon is wrong, sometimes Will is wrong.
right?
Yes.
But more or less, in my heart, what I was trying to do was like just give him a change of perspective, because sometimes he would like we can go back to the whole Travis incident. I can't remember what the fuck it was all about
No,
personally.
I don't either.
There was a me
But-
incident.
Not
Your
with
house.
you.
Oh, we mean at my
At your
house.
house.
Okay, got
Yeah.
It's like the Battle of Gettysburg. Like we're just kind of giving
yeah.
it, like the location.
Yeah. So like with all of that, it was that whole aspect of like sometimes Brandon can get to the point where he pushes buttons too far. And I think I do remember he saw something on my phone and he kept trying to egg me to like either do something with it, or kept trying to ask questions about it, or kept trying to like push further into it. And I just kept telling him like, no, dude, like I don't want to get into this right now. It's something that was for me to only see, like all of that. But he just kept going on. So finally, like I think I ended up snapping, and I was just like, yo, dude, like we need to fucking stop. Like I'm being 100% serious. Like nothing's going to come of this. Leave it alone. Like we're done with this. And like it kind of shifted my whole mood. But like that's where I kind of see like the whole Brandon and me, like I guess like Batman Superman kind of esque battle, is that like more times or not, I'm just trying to bring you down to like my perspective to see how you're acting through my eyes, like how I'm seeing you act.
Okay.
Like
What does that make
sometimes,
us three?
I will
Austin
tell
and
you-
Al?
like sometimes it's not bad. It's not. Sometimes
They're
it's not as
Batman,
bad as it
man.
seems. But like sometimes, like I still want you to acknowledge that, like, yo, what you're doing is hurting this person, or what you're doing is kinda not nice. Like I get it. Sometimes, like some like people who do bad shit deserve bad shit to happen to them. Sometimes, like if someone's being an asshole, I'm gonna be an asshole to them. But
So
like,
let me just say this. I'm a fucking momentum junkie, dog. I am just going. If I'm
I know.
going, I don't know when to stop. So in that sense, if like just using your scenario
Right.
in context, there is one person who fucking brings me down to earth. There's so many people that bring me down to earth super well. The best example right now, Oliver. Holy fuck. I go up to him and I'm like, this is what's happening. And he's like, dude, let me hit you with logic and facts. And I'm like, all right.
I think that's why Oliver's been such a great friend to us, such a great asset.
no, really.
Every time you get into a conversation with Oliver, you have to check your ego at the door. He will not have it.
Right.
So, like, and that's how you get through my brain. You know, anytime
And-
that we're in a group scenario, it's like what you need to do, pull me aside and be like, hey, and just be honest. Yo, you're fucking hurt my feelings, dog. Or bro, I don't want to fucking talk about this right now. Right now, what you're doing is frustrating me because all you're doing is causing commotion about this thing that I don't want to talk about right now. Can we please go about it this way? And like, dude, fuck yeah. That brings me back down to earth. I'm down ski to be the best version of myself around you. Just sometimes I don't know how to.
Right.
What I'm here to do is bring the energy up for everybody and do my thing and like have fun. And if I'm pissing you off, the best thing for you to do is be like, hey, brother, this is what I need right now. That's how you bring me
Right.
down. You bring me down to earth. You don't try to kick the pedestal from under me. Because
No,
that will just piss me the fuck off.
No, and I don't think I've ever tried to.
That's
In
what
the
it feels
sense-
like. Because we've had this conversation with probably everybody in this call. And that's what it also kind of seems like as well. And we didn't know that it was just like you trying to like bring me down to earth versus the other
Right.
way around.
No, and I think I need to definitely. It's one of those things that like I'm
Ben,
still
I'm gonna grab
going
another drink.
through the changes of it. Oh, great! He walked away when
He
I
can
was trying
hear
to
you.
talk. To
I
him.
can still hear you.
Okay. No, it's for sure something that like I'm still trying to like go through. And don't get me wrong, at the beginning, yeah, it did seem like I was trying to kick that pedestal from underneath you. but now it's more of a sense of just trying to bring you down to that formality of like, yo, brother, I'm being 100% honest with you. And sometimes, like, I don't know if it's happened recently where Brandon gets in that mood where you try to bring him down to earth and he doesn't take it as that sometimes. So he'll still take it as like a joke. And then at that point, that's when it sends me off the rails.
Yeah, that's that momentum, like I was describing, where it's like, going.
And you know, the problem is with both of you is that you like always need to get one last snipe in. And this is why you guys have these really long ass arguments. Yeah, like notice when like Brandon and Travis or Brandon and Oliver fight, we snipe each other like twice and then we both just shut the fuck up, sleep it off, and we're fine the next day. With you guys, you like snipe and snipe and snipe at each other. Like one of you has always got to say something snippy to get the last word in, when you just got to sit and think, am I making, like Brandon said, sitting down and saying like, okay, I don't want to talk about this right now. This is really getting me like riled up. That would be the solution. Think of what you're saying. Think, is this a statement or is it a snipe? That's all you got to do.
Yeah. And like 90%
a couple of
time,
snipes you need. That's a part of a fight.
90%
but you
got
to stop sniping at some point.
Neither of us are trying to be mean. Like that's the problem with it. It's like neither of us are trying to be fucking assholes.
No,
we're just pissed.
No, and that's the thing too. Like Brandon said, like 90% of the time, it'll start off with it not being mean at all, and then it will just devolve into just being fucking belligerent to each other.
We know how to fucking advance forward because I know everybody's got a lot of fucking questions, and this is supposed to be about me. It's whatever, you know. I like
this is about you. It's about your strained, your often strained relationship with Will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just want to say I love you, brother. I'm not a perfect person.
No.
If anything,
many things I wish I didn't do.
My ego goes all the way to the fucking sky.
I heard that, Travis. I heard that. You fucker.
What's that? What'd you say?
I was just doing a Hooba Stank lyric.
Yeah, what'd you say though?
You said I'm not a perfect person. I said there's many things I wish I didn't do.
But at the end of the day, let's fucking we now know how to advance farther from this. Let's not be fucking retarded. This was stupid.
This was productive.
No,
this is stupid.
We'll end it.
All right, Austin. Another burning question. Snipe it off. Let's go.
Do we want to dive into his
spot?
Right on the spot, baby. You only got the whole list. And so Brandon said you've been preparing for like 5 months. Come on.
Bro, I've given this like zero thought.
I can go
on this all day.
I can go if you
bitch.
want.
You were literally, while we were sitting in my fucking living room partying, I was like, what the fuck is Austin?
Yeah, just that one drunken night. That was it.
I went over and I saw him. He's like, hey.
Bro, and the worst part is I was typing on the keyboard like this. I was out of my mind drunk. I don't even remember what I wrote.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the question. What are your thoughts on the upcoming funeral? What are your expectations?
Can we?
Number one,
bro. Anything
goes. This?
Sure.
Can we do it before?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You guys can before. I don't care.
In honor.
I'm not smoking.
Of course.
No.
Number one, fucking finally. Jesus Christ. I've been waiting to put a bow on this shit for so long, man.
That's
it's been how long since the inevitable happened? When did that happen?
No.
Year and a half ago.
November of 2020 is whenever she died.
Inevitable.
So
it's been
I don't think
almost,
you know what inevitable means.
I put it in the wrong.
I guess it's inevitable for
everyone.
everyone.
Inevitably dies. It's a good way to put it, actually.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
All right,
drunk.
awesome.
I apologize.
No, so you said November of 2020 is when it happened. So that makes it almost
a year and 2 months.
Yeah.
Once it actually goes down, it'll be a year and like 5 months. 5 months.
What's been the process with that? Like what's been the reasoning why it's taken so long? Is it just been because of like what's going on in the world, or is it just?
So I don't want to fucking dox it because we've given the date and like on the off chance that something happens and we blow up in 5 months.
Right.
I doubt it, but whatever. Just because of the venue of where it's gonna be, it's gonna.
Are they like stingy on it?
It takes a while because of COVID, and there's inherent bureaucracy that goes along with where she's trying to get buried. So,
fair enough.
It's just a fucking problem. So number
You kinda
2,
click submit with this kind of thing and just wait and wait and wait.
It is going to be
Not much to
baller
do.
though when it finally happens.
If we didn't cremate her and we tried to like preserve the body until, and this was under the expectation that 9 months was going to be her funeral, it was going to be $30,000.
Damn, brother.
Go forward plus 9 months plus however fucking long, the math is incalculable, plus 5, so it would have been like
A year and a half.
half of 100,000. So it would have been ridiculous.
Would you have liked to do that if money wasn't a factor?
No. To be honest, my sister was kind of broken up about it. She was like, I don't know what mom wanted. And I'm like, I don't think she would fucking care as long as she gets buried where she wants
Seriously, I feel that about this whole thing. Like,
As long as you get buried and you have the people that love you surrounding you, be the ones to, one, put you in the ground if that need be, or scatter the ashes, or whatever it needs to be, whatever it is. As long as you have the loved ones there, it's the same thing for mine. Like when I like finally go, like I don't care how much it's going to be. I just want the people that meant the most to me while I was alive to be there.
Yeah.
Bro, flush me down the toilet. I don't care at all.
Make me a fucking goldfish.
pretty much
I'm not
no matter
here.
what
Do
you
what you want.
believe, once the inevitable happens, you're not really like in your body anymore, right?
Right.
No.
Yeah, you're just in oblivion.
I mean, your body is just a thing
Well,
at that point.
depending on what you believe in, but you're definitely not in
But
I believe in
most
comic
things,
books.
even if you believe like that's it, like even if you like totally atheist, I believe when I die it's just blackness, you
food.
cease to exist as a human, then your body is still just a body.
right.
Yeah.
So the second part of this, the event is I've got redemption, man. For my stepdad's funeral, I gave a speech in front of everybody. This is at a funeral with like over 100 people
It did not go
at this esteemed place where people are buried. And I went up there and said, "Hey, how's everybody doing today?" It was bad, man. I try to play it like a school speech.
No, you gotta be respectful when it comes to that kind of stuff. You gotta be more formal, I would say. Like
I didn't
more
know
formal.
what to do. I thought in my head, I was like, I'm just gonna charisma skill my way to victory here. And that did not work.
It's one of those instances where charisma can only get you so far in something.
Yeah. And if you make notes, don't throw your notes away. Go off your notes.
Please
100% go off your notes.
Yeah, that only happens in TV shows.
It feels so
like
cool.
at my wedding, you went off the notes, or even if
I crushed
even if
your
that was just
fucking
a
wedding.
bit, I don't know.
I crushed.
But it was
your wedding.
funny because I requested something specific to make you go off your notes. For the funeral, don't go off your notes.
No.
We're not
Especially
trying to be
with-
funny here. I've
no.
thought about what I was gonna say a million times, so I'm really excited to kind of speak to her again and you know meet all the people that she's touched, and she was such a great woman. So
There's
I've
gonna
never
be
met her.
so many
That's the
people
thing.
that
I
don't
never
know.
met her. I met her once,
She
and that
was
was
the
on a
best,
FaceTime.
man.
I had a kid with her.
Hey.
she
my
was
God.
fucking crazy.
Oh, from the one
crazy.
FaceTime call, for sure. She's crazy.
But
she was
also, if
awesome.
you were her clan, like she'd fucking die for you.
She would die for you, man.
Well, that's what the whole thing was. I remember that night vividly. Brandon picked me up, like in his car to get something. Brandon picked me up in his car, and it was right after I became his little, and he was so happy that he had a little and everything. And the first thing he did as soon as I got in the car, he's like, hold on one second. I gotta get my phone. I gotta call somebody, Will. I'm like, okay, man. And he just picks up the phone, and like his mom's answered. He's like, Mom, look at this. This is my little. This is my new little. Hey, say hi, everybody.
She always
man.
kept tabs
Dude,
on everything.
She was so awesome. I talked to her for maybe a minimum of 5 minutes, and I call her mom to this day. I have a mom of my own. I love my mom dearly, but I'm in the same boat as Brandon. I respect people. I never grew up with siblings, so anybody that I see as friends, I automatically assume is family, and so
Pretty
does
sure I
my
started
family.
calling her mom at some point.
Yeah. So like
Well, she's
she
wifey.
became mom. She became mom. And dude, she was awesome. From all the stories that you guys have told me about her and all the stories that will come from her, she was an amazing woman. She birthed a god.
Oh shit!
Literally, if it's in his mind.
Yeah.
The main character,
Noah.
Hey, we're not looping back to this, okay?
Now, my favorite was watching her kind of reaction to like Brandyn maturing and growing up, because I got to see freshman year mom like pissed at everything he did.
That's true. Was she like totally different towards him in high school than she was in college?
But then like senior year, the summer of senior year, best summer of our lives for sure. Or at least one of them for sure.
No, probably
we were doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Dog.
And it was just
summer after senior year was the best because you
adults.
just pop off with your best high school friends because you know you just don't give a fuck anymore. Like high school is done.
Like at some point when we broke
for the people who hated high school, that was the best.
High school, we brought Noah at some point, and she would have been so pissed, but she couldn't help but laugh because it was just like the fact that we're adults and like we're responsible.
That was the turning point.
Yeah.
No, I would say she's very proud of you, brother.
Well, she was my best friend, man. And she loved me more. Not loved me more, but like loved her kids more than anything. And she gave so much love to everybody that was part of the clan. So
yes,
that's something that I want to aspire to be able to do, is to love as hard as she did. Hopefully be a little bit less crazy.
Yeah, actually, I've got a super good off-book question off of this.
Cool.
So you always look at your parents, and especially when you get older and start thinking about like how you're getting closer to having a family of your own, you wonder like, how am I going to raise my kids? Am I going to use parenting tactics that are like my parents? What am I going to do? What am I going to not do because my parents did do it and it turned out badly? Like, so what are you going to do as a parent that your mom really like, that's really inspired by your mom? Like what parenting tactic that she did are you like, man, that's really good. I'm going to use that on my kids.
It'd be cool with all of my kids' friends, man. Now my kid's gonna be a fucking virgin.
Same. But he's gonna lie about it and say that he's not.
Wow.
Sick man. Wow. He's gonna be sick man 13137, dude. Let's go.
Travis just threw that out there.
No, but seriously though, yeah, I just want to give as much love to people as possible, especially my kids, man. That was something I never doubted. Ever. My mom loved us so much so that she fought every day for us, and she would bring herself to tears about injustices that she would do. She couldn't ground us, man. Now, my kids act up. They're getting fucking grounded. I'm trying to teach
I feel
you
like
some
Morgan
shit.
was grounded a bunch.
No. He'd be grounded for like 3 hours, and then he'd be like, can I play
maybe
games?
it's just because he locked himself in his room all the time. I just thought he was grounded.
Yeah, you think Morgan would care about being grounded?
Right. Bro never left. He'd get grounded out of his room.
And I think for my dad, his ambition, his drive, and him being cool as well. My parents were fucking cool. You know? They're
No
cool
doubt.
fucking people. And I hope that my kids can be like 60% of that, if that's even possible.
Well, what about Mr. J? You missed your mom and dad. Fucking Mr. Jankowski was a beast too, bro.
Yeah, he was the fucking man. And to be honest, when my mom would get really crazy and like, you know, there's a saying that when a woman is unhappy in the house, then everybody's unhappy, and like that's a misogynistic line, but whatever. It's something people
It's
said.
true. I don't give a fuck. We're the real sensitive guys, man. What females are still watching? Show yourselves. Hands up. Who's watching this?
Yeah, so it genuinely, if she was unhappy, hell would break loose. It's over. She's screaming. She's never anything physical. Never anything physical.
Just verbal shit.
Fucking verbal as fuck. And our stepdad would be like, all right, boys, listen up. It's go time, baby. You already know your mom's on some dumb shit right now. We got to go either outside. You guys go outside. I'm going to handle this. I got you. And then like, you know, she'd be like going crazy on us, screaming at us about this terrible thing that we did. She's like, just you wait till your stepdad comes home. He would come down, you know, converse with her. He would go into the room. He's like, I'm so mad at you guys. Better go to your rooms. Fucking play video games. Don't say shit. You guys are so busted. seriously, guys, don't say shit. Like, he was the coolest fucking guy ever.
He was a badass.
Would you still get like scorned by him too? He'd be like, all right, guys.
Bro,
You
he was
guys-
hard as
Oh,
fuck.
when you
Yes.
deserved it, when you
Like, you
deserved it,
guys-
he'd give it to you.
I never
I'm pretty sure I got
understood.
scorned
I
for
never
random
understood
shit
that.
all the time.
That sentiment that you told me where you kept saying that, like, oh, he's hard as fuck. Like, I've never understood that, because he was always the coolest guy with us. Even when he scorned us, he was a bro. He was the fucking man.
Bro, I came in one time and I don't even remember what I said. I was like, what's up, man? And he said, man. Don't call me man. Call me Mr. J. And I was like, that's a nice thing to say. Why is it so scary?
Wait, he's so fucking relatable. Like he was a hard ass with your friends,
Yep.
Brandon, but he was like a softie with you. It was so real.
Yeah. He was a fucking man.
He was
And-
awesome though. He was.
I remember, like, I was
Gary.
like 3 years old. Not 3, but I was probably like 5, 6. Around first grade. So, like, call it like kindergarten age. We drove from West Virginia, I believe, to Arizona, all the way up to Alaska. And he had like one of those Penske trucks or whatever. And I rode with him the whole fucking way. Because I thought it was cool. I was in the big boy truck. I was like, fuck yeah, boys. Like, I'm a big boy now. All right. I'm a big boy pants on.
The ego was huge even then.
Oh my God.
I'm in a big truck.
My stepdad
Big
ruled.
wheels.
But again, man, it was like the whole Michaela situation. Like, no, this was different. Actually, now I'm remembering it. There's also this portion of like my parents dying that I feel responsible to be on top of making sure that my family's okay versus me. I want to make sure everybody around me is okay, and that's the only thing that I can focus on. Because I don't know how to handle these feelings, so I just make sure that everybody else is doing okay. And it's like the only other time that I'm fucking unselfish or have like at least don't have selfish tendencies behind it was in these situations where my mom dies or my stepdad dies. It was like, no, I just need to be there for them. I don't give a fuck about myself. Which is interesting because my sister took it as me being sociopathic. And I always thought that was a little weird how she felt like nothing never affected me. Because on my own, like I would fucking bawl my eyes out about it. But all it really was I want to focus on everybody else and make sure everybody else is having a good time. Noah wanted to go up and see my mom in like that vegetative state. I was like, yeah, I'll go with you, man. I'll go with you. So it's not like I'm like trying to like make it seem like I'm like this great guy or whatever, but like I guess that's like part of the reason why I don't react to really fucked up shit like that. That makes sense? Does that sound like bullshit? I don't know.
No.
Nobody's ever going to know what you go through when no one is
Yeah,
around. And
that's
nobody can
true.
ever like think they know what you're going through. So, or
Yeah,
how you
just
feel
listen
about it.
to
Yeah.
Kind of the main character trope or trait, like the main admirable trait is like,
Got to stay
you
strong
are
for my friends.
who people need you to be.
Yeah,
You are who you
definitely
are.
very anime character, anime main
Like
character.
if
of
it's
you.
the center of attention, like you got that. If it's the bro, you got that. Like it's very much centered around what people need.
I didn't even think of it that way. Like any other time, it's like, okay, I'm going to learn this dance because I want to like make people think of me this way. Or I'm going to lie about being with my ex-girlfriend because I don't want Travis to think less of me. Or I'm going
I
to
would
fucking...
have. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to
I
flex on
wouldn't
Will.
have. That's the thing, man. You could have told me day one and literally like laid it all out to me and said,
Yeah.
I still want to be with her. I want to give her another chance. And I'd be like, man, I don't fucking agree, but it's your life and
Yeah.
I'm here for you.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong with being that person that behind closed doors, all of your emotions come out. But as soon as that door opens, you are focused on making sure everybody else is okay.
Yeah,
There's
it's
nothing
great.
wrong
And it's
with that.
great that you're there for all of us, but no. And I know you know this, but no. You can open your doors to us
Yeah.
too.
Like
It's so fucking hard to do, though.
it is. It very
I know.
is.
I know.
Here's my thought process behind it. And I just like want you guys to know that I'm not trying to be malicious. I'm not trying to be a dickhead and like keep you guys out.
I don't
Number
think
one,
that at all.
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Number two, I want to like, not a weak person. And
You don't want
I don't want other people to think that I'm weak either.
That's
Dude,
fair.
you're falling victim to the
That's
toxic
fair.
masculine society. We're not going to think you're weak because you have feelings. We know you're strong.
Yeah, but I have strong feelings about a lot of dumb shit.
Okay.
I feel like all of us do. That's the whole reason we made a podcast.
There's nothing. I think Travis said it
Yeah,
best.
that's
Travis in his own episode, he said it best. There's nothing wrong with being vulnerable to the people that you care about. Because again, going back to it, when you close yourself off behind the doors and like cry and like let all the emotions out, and then you open up the door and you go towards everybody else to make sure they're okay, our first focus is going to be on you, especially with what's coming up, the event that's coming up. This is all, and we're not trying to make it seem like it's centered around you, but it's someone that's important to you. So we're going to be there for you. So you don't need to feel pressured to not be vulnerable. If you're going to cry, fucking cry. I don't fucking care. We'll hug you. I'll pick you up and carry you back to the van.
Don't even think about us. Say what you need to say. Do what you need to do. Get out what you need to get out.
Don't ever feel scared to show emotion ever. It's a very scary thing to do because if you bottle it up, it fucks you in the long run.
Well, I think this is a great segue to Will's question that he's been wanting to ask about your penis.
Oh shit!
Is this the one that like Oliver said that I needed to have drinks for?
No, that's like well past already.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
So I want to turn to your adolescent years. I want to turn to your adolescent years, Brandon. Your adolescent years, you were crazy. You did some really weird shit. You got some funny stories, but I think the biggest thing, and we've talked about it a couple times on the podcast, you lost your V card to a very interesting movie. And if those who don't know, or if this is your first time watching,
if you don't know the Brandon guy's lore, get out of episode.
If you don't know
90,
this lore,
fuck
out of here.
96.
Brandon,
they're all standalone episodes.
Yeah, Brandon.
That's true. You can start anywhere and get real entertainment value, but that's besides the point. You need to know the lore.
Get on our wiki right now.
Get on our level.
But you lost your virginity to, I won't dox the girl's name because one, I can't remember her fucking name at all. Oh, it was Bitch Michaela.
Yeah.
Was it? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you lost the V card to Bitch Michaela while watching The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Can't confirm.
Very sad movie, by the way.
Very sad movie. Very odd movie for this pick.
Because this is an aged movie. This is a movie about the Holocaust.
Yes.
Just make that perfectly clear.
To TLDR this movie, this young German boy finds a Holocaust concentration camp and befriends a kid inside.
A refugee.
And literally at the end of the movie, the whole scene is that this kid just sneaks into the camp and just gets in a gas chamber with this other friend and just dies.
It's a good movie.
So my whole question.
I'm getting turned on. I'm just kidding.
Travis with his nose thing.
But he's got a chode right now.
Clip that.
No, don't make him get hard. He might come without thinking.
But my question is, did losing your virginity to that movie, or with that movie being prevalent in that whole event, did losing your virginity to The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, did that traumatize or affect your future sexual relationships, or just relationships in general?
I think I'm having an epiphany right now.
He forced every girl after that he had sex with to wear striped pajamas.
Bro.
His first instinct was to be like, "Hey, you wanna have shower sex?"
I think I'm
you
having
need to rinse off. Here, step in my
moment
shower.
right now.
I just shat in here, but we can shower.
I see you're liking me. Mind stepping in my shower?
All right,
I
so
mean by
people
that?
who become serial killers who are sociopaths in their teen years, they see killing, like killing animals and stuff, and they contribute that to sex because it's their like
Right.
testosterone years and stuff.
Like it gives them the same
Bro,
effect.
what if
as
that's why Brandon's desensitized? Because he had sex time. Watch, how do you?
He combined them together and became a sociopath.
Oh my God, Austin, you just broke the fucking Brandon code.
He broke the fifth wall, bro.
You guys got me.
You don't need to answer this one, Brandon. We already figured
We
it out.
have figured Brandon out. It all traces back to the boy in the striped pajamas.
I don't even need to answer this question.
It traces for sure.
Desensitize your brain on just an emotional level.
Obviously.
My dick fucking sucks.
Costs a late night fee.
I was just
On my
always
dick,
strong,
Adolf
bro.
Hitler.
God,
I was
Kills
just
this
always
shit.
strong,
I
bro.
love that fucking story. Like anytime that I'm at a party and I need to like get my rep up, my respect plus, it's that fucking story.
No, and do you think it's funny as shit? I don't know if anyone else heard about this. Me and Brandon had a conversation earlier this week? I found out that the boy, the main character, the German boy, in the striped pajamas, I found out that that's like an actual, like he's a grown-up actor now, all of that.
I figured he was grown up.
His name is Otis Milbourne. He's a great actor. The funniest thing in connection I found is that he is the main character in a Netflix series called Sex Education.
That's that kid, bro.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah. That kid is the boy from the boy in the striped pajamas.
Also, his name is Otis Milbourne in that show too.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't know you watched that. That's a fucking great show.
So,
isn't it?
so is that a weird coincidence connection, Brandon? That you got that? Are you gonna start watching the show now, or
It kind of reminds me of what
Bro,
me and Brandon
how
were
did-
probably like in high school too.
How did you even get like? How did you get fired up watching that movie though?
No.
Yeah, how did you get up?
fucking kidding me?
How did you
Bro,
get
getting his
genuinely
fucking rocks
serious.
off for the first fucking time? Like you feel it
Doesn't
in
matter
your
what movie's
nutsack.
on,
You
it
feel it
doesn't
in
matter.
your
It does not
chest.
matter what was on the
It does
TV,
not
okay.
bro.
fucking matter.
I guess let's go back a little bit. Was there like some hot stuff going on like when you turned the movie on, or did you watch 45 minutes of this and then it got
It
hot?
was so awkward. So okay, I guess I'll like fucking do a TLDR of the story because I've told it on the show
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Oh,
So
that's my bad, I don't know.
you know, I was a virgin until my
Not a
sophomore
real
year of
fan.
high school, and I got with this girl named Bitch Michaela. First name Bitch, last name Michaela, and we talked a lot on Skype. And one night she hit me up and she said, "I'm ready."
All right, so you went into the TLDR. You went into it knowing, so it was
Knowing
a thought on
goddamn
your
well.
mind before.
So you
Which
put
makes it
on the
worse.
boy in the striped pajamas knowing.
What made
is
you
the thought
pick
process
that
behind that?
What made you pick this movie?
I didn't pick the movie, which is very fucking fitting.
What?
Very
Honestly,
fitting.
having met her, understandable.
yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
I
So to
feel like
change the
she
question-
equates murder and sex.
Yeah.
Like she definitely killed
Yes.
puppies since she was a little kid.
So can
She
we
killed puppies
blame?
when she was a little
It
kid.
was just a side piece.
So are we changing it now to Bitch Michaela is the reason Brandon is so desensitized to sexual
No,
relations?
It has to be video games. It has to be video games and porn. But like, so what happened was,
Should have admitted he watches porn. He should have admitted it.
Why are we saying Brandon is
We got
desensitized
him.
to sex? Does he have some sexual thing that I don't know about? Like I thought.
I
Brandon-
said desensitized to emotions. We'll change that.
yeah, he changed it. to
I
sex.
said. I changed.
So okay, let me fucking finish the story. So we were on her floor of all places,
Nice. That's
Oh,
a shower?
no.
and I did not know how
Hardwood
to
or
put on a
rug?
condom on. Why? So this was before both kids got gassed. I did not know how to put a condom on, so I
Bro,
made
you
her
never saw
do
the,
it.
like banana and condom shits?
No. I mean, I looked it up on YouTube, but I never like.
Dude, we got
tried.
that freshman year of high school. They hit
yeah,
us
I got that
immediately.
freshman year of high school too.
I didn't. I never did.
Dang,
I never did.
Dang,
So-
looks like the Apple boys are fucking horrible at sex.
Well, I was like, all right, boys. Like, all right. I need you to put this condom on me. It could be really hot. Like,
Oh, smooth.
wow.
and she's like, okay, and she like put it on, and then,
You're like taking mental notes as she. This is how you do it.
Brandon's like watching carefully. He's like,
All right, my dick is the banana.
huh.
so I stick my little fucking baby peen in, and I'm gonna use her words for this. I
Ouch.
rocked back and forth like a boat.
Damn.
Didn't even come. Didn't even come.
Oh yeah, you don't your first time.
She definitely faked coming.
Who told you that, Oliver?
I mean, I did it.
You haven't come to this day.
Yeah, that's
It's all been a lie.
I have a good follow-up question
Okay.
to this.
Because-
All right, so, huh?
All right, continue.
So the shape of your room was kind of like an L shape, right? And so your bed was in one quadrant of the L, and Noah's bed was in the other quadrant.
So for the
of
first time,
L.
I was at her house. But
No, yeah, that's right. But this
just
is
for
your room
the
layout.
viewers to know.
Oh, I got you. So this is your room layout, right? Y'all had sex multiple times in your quadrant of the L with Noah in his quadrant.
Yeah,
of
we
the
were
L.
separated by a fucking shower sheet, to be honest.
Noah
like,
took
it was,
the L.
Yeah.
Like, how?
Hey, you talking about your mom's basement? Oh my god, that
Yeah.
is like nothing.
How do you justify that?
It's like nothing, bro.
Have you apologized?
Dog,
to
when
Noah?
you're a teenager and you can get sex, it's just
Or about sex.
I can't explain it. Dude, you feel it in your nuts, you feel it in your chest, you feel it in your throat. There's everything is
Why are
saying
you-
fuck.
Why are you feeling sperm?
In your throat?
I will fuck your throat.
How do you feel?
You had
what do you
too
think
much. That was
Noah
a
feels
slur
about
right
it?
there.
Yeah, that was a big smur in my words.
Schmurder.
I mean, Noah is
Bro.
not a stranger to having sex in front of his friends.
No.
That's true.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, but because he's been desensitized.
We need to do an Ask Me Anything for Noah. Suck my dick.
Seriously.
Oh my god. Hey,
HF.
that was a good meme.
I
Oh.
think because I'm enjoying
Good
this
meme.
and apologize that it's going farther than it needs to.
I don't apologize. I think our
It's
fans
not.
are yearning for our shows to go longer every time the hour is up.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick rapid fire yes no question based off of what you guys have in that list, and then we'll be done. That way Oliver can go to
Right.
bed because I know he's pissed.
Well, I
He's gonna
actually
start
had one.
shining shoes now.
We didn't talk
I
about this
didn't.
like section at all, so I want to ask you a quick one too. One of my other questions was,
You don't have to talk
what
fast.
do you think was your hardest time in college, and did you ever legitimately consider that you were legitimately think that you were going to like flunk out, or that you like wanted to give up or something like that? What was the hardest part, and did you ever think that?
I was confident in my ability to go through college and not flunk out. That was never a problem that I've ever had. And to be honest, I
Probably
didn't fucking
BB.
try in school. But
Yeah, I mean, flunking out in college is really hard. I mean, they basically just pay them more money and they let you keep coming. But I mean, like, were you ever afraid you'd like fail a bunch of classes and like your parents would be mad or something?
yes, so I did fail one class. Never told my parents until much later.
Damn.
And then I almost failed a class because it was just genuinely fucking hard. You had to take notes on everything the teacher said, even if it was bullshit banter. So I didn't understand the dynamic of that. Absolute Walnut Barty helped me out with that. She would help me study all fucking night, and you know, she was great. She helped me out, and I didn't fail the class because of her.
And then you helped her.
So did Morgan.
You
Anyway.
helped her learn things.
Oh my god.
Let's just say they learned about the Holocaust.
Whoa, Will, anti-Semitic over here.
Poor little. Sorry. Anyway, oh, I just said her name. Can somebody put that in the chat?
Yeah, now we have first and last. That is a dox.
Yeah. Anyway, but there was a time where I wanted to go to USC to go to film school, because that's always been my dream, was to get big on the internet and have a huge audience, and for people to, on a massive scale, care about what I had to say. So if I could do that through film, I wanted to do that. And that was like midway through the spring semester of freshman year. I almost applied to USC.
Damn.
I gave myself time to think about it, and I eventually just did do it. But I had everything filled out already.
Bruh.
Travis,
your
gonna
biggest
give him
fear?
shit?
Yeah.
Like, just quick, one word, biggest fear.
Biggest
Go.
fear? Being alone.
What's your favorite color?
Red.
Just out of curiosity. Yo, what was that one girl's name? You met her in middle school, I believe, who you thought you were going to marry, or you both joked about getting married.
Pill popper.
Ugh,
Savannah? No, not Savannah.
Yeah.
The other one, the cuter one. Burnett. She's married now.
I don't know.
I'm friends with her on Facebook.
Why are you looking up there? Like, what are you
I can't think of her name.
Wow, this is your friend list, bitch.
I've got a Wii, man.
I've
Can you
got-
guys give me a
Yeah,
second?
same. I have to be like a horse on a race right now.
Travis, Will, and Austin, you guys hold it down real quick.
Yeah, this show's over anyway. So.
Oh, should we end it? Should we end it here?
I say we end it.
We can end it.
I say we end it.
I really enjoyed this. This was great.
I guess the final question that you always asked us and ours, and I guess we can ask you, is at any point during this interview, did you like feel uncomfortable, or did we cross a line in any point?
Honestly, the only uncomfortable point was when Austin brought up the you and I thing. Because I didn't want to make this about our beef. And to be honest, like, I'm drinking, we're on a public forum. I almost didn't want to like talk about it just because I feel like we should just talk about it amongst ourselves. But like that hasn't happened, and we've been, I don't know, I've been doing shady shit about this stuff. So
I've always thought the real sensitive guy hours is the platform to have these talks.
Yeah, we get our best shit out on camera, baby.
That's fair. That's fair. No, okay, so I'm gonna live with that from here on out, just so everybody knows.
All right, that's fine.
And then at any point did we cross a line?
Next week, we're gonna have a half-hour special with Oliver.
Just Oliver. Just Oliver.
I'm just kidding.
I know what it's about.
Tell me.
I'm just kidding. Anyway,
but Travis, take us out.
About your business.
About your business. I'm here to talk about your business.
About your business.
All right. If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that shit that Brandon says at the end of the show. It's been Travis.
I'm Oliver.
I'm Will.
And I'm Brandon.
And that's Austin.
And you just listened to The Real Sensitive Guys featuring
Episode
Austin.
96. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Bye.
Bye, boys.